Hey, welcome back to the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. I'm Ernest, and we've got an emergency call out for a gentleman who is needing his BMW worked on. So we just got here. We'll do a time-lapse drive in here anyways after this intro, kind of how we always do. We just got up here, and he needs spark plugs done and an oil change. He has to travel, and I guess he's having some misfires or a few issues, or he just wants new spark plugs. I don't remember, because we're doing 3 tune-ups today with spark plugs. Regardless, he wants new spark plugs and an oil change, so we just got up here kind of middle of nowhere, but we'll get those spark plugs put in for him, and should be pretty quick, and we'll be on to the next 2 tune-ups and then 2 more things after that. So pretty busy afternoon, but we'll get to it. All right, apparently I've got a crack in the screen of this. No big deal. We are here, nice, clean engine bay. So we will get the spark plugs put in and get them an oil change. Shouldn't be anything too big of a deal, so we'll get to it. All right, so that's all done. Interestingly enough, on this BMW, to even get the beauty cover off, you have to undo some vacuum lines. You need a special socket to do the spark plugs. And funny enough, I forgot the customer said he had his own spark plugs, so I brought my own, which is the exact same brand and size, and put those in. So yeah, that's pretty funny. But that ought to do it. This is all done, and we'll get on to the next one. Hey, welcome back to Roadside Rescue. I'm Ernest, and we're here with another tune-up this afternoon. We've got a tune-up on a 2012 Nissan Juke. Pretty cool cars. I've always liked them a little myself. But we're just going to put some new spark plugs in here. We just got over here, and we're going to put a new belt on this vehicle. So the owner might have also wanted brakes as well, but they look fine, and he's fine with going without brakes for right now. But we did bring everything along with us, and we'll get out here and do those spark plugs and that belt. All right, so here we are. We've just gotten this pipe here moved out of the way. This is positive pressure side from that turbo here, runs right across the intake. Everything else looks like it should just move gently out of the way enough to get to those injectors. So we may have to undo this for the boost controller here, but we'll just gently move everything out of the way and get these spark plugs changed out and get a new belt on here. All right, here we are. Been quite the long evening. So we went and did 2 jobs today. Probably only one of them will be in the video. The first one we went to and changed. The first one we went to and changed spark plugs. And I don't know what I was thinking, because I knew the guy was going to provide his own spark plugs. And at the end of the video, I remember saying, "Oh, I brought spark plugs anyways and put them in, but they were the same number." As soon as I said that, I looked at the box and realized they're not the same number. And I was like, "Oh, I know he ordered them online," so I'm like, "You probably just ordered the wrong ones." And then I get over to the next job, which luckily, I couldn't have been any better luck, was 5 minutes away and not an hour away or half an hour away. Because I get to the other job and I pull out the spark plugs and I realized the spark plugs I just put in that other guy's car were the spark plugs I had gotten for this job. And the first job was a BMW, and so I had a special spark plug socket. They fit perfect, everything fit fine, so it never crossed my mind when these spark plugs fit, because the ones I had gotten were for a Nissan Juke, which I've never done spark plugs on before. And that's when I realized, shoot, they're almost the exact same spark plug, except for the ceramic insulator's a little bit thicker on one than the other. So I went back to the other guys, swapped out the spark plugs, and put those spark plugs in the other one. The belt I had gotten for that job, let me go grab it. I was gonna do spark plugs in a belt, which will be the one that this video is about. I was supposed to get a belt labeled 470K6. If you can't see that, it's 470K6. And this belt is double ribbed, so there's ribs on the outside and the inside. and that wasn't the case with the 𝐤𝐸. I'm sure those belts are the exact same size, and that's why they have the same number, except for KK means that it's double ribbed, and they didn't notice, I didn't notice, so I got a double ribbed belt, and as hard as I could try to put that on it, I could not get the whole belt on. So I couldn't put that belt on. Then I had another job I was already running late for, 3 more jobs I was running late for. One of them, luckily, a friend of mine just said, don't worry about it, do it tomorrow. The other job I had put off yesterday to today, so I went over there to do that. Spark plugs on a Dodge Journey, so we had to pull the intake plenum. There was a vacuum leak as well, which was what he thought might be why he needed new spark plugs. On the phone talking with him, I could tell it was a vacuum leak, and I told him that. So we went up there to do some diagnosing. It's got a bad intake gasket, or the plenum itself is broken, but I didn't pull the whole plenum out to look at it. So I'm going to order the new plenum and a gasket and go up there later and see which one it is. We have to get him the quotes, and I did the spark plugs as well and did the diagnosing. Luckily that went well-ish, but it took forever to do the diagnosing, because to confidently say, okay, it's your gasket or it's your plenum, I had to take everything else off and test it after I put it all back together after the spark plugs, and it was still leaking. So I did that. Then I went down to the next job, which today was just one of those days. If you watch Matt's off-road recovery, then it'll be like that Matt has an off day kind of video. Like, just nothing went right today on all 5 jobs. There was something weird on all of them. That one wasn't the end of the world. This last one just took a lot longer than it should have. And then on the very last one, I get down there. This is the second time I've ordered these variable valve timing solenoids, and they're not the right size again. So hopefully 3rd time's a charm. At least I was on the way home and I didn't drive out of the way to figure out that those intake valve, or the intake and exhaust variable valve timing solenoid, were both the wrong size. So hopefully we can find the right size. We've already waited both times 2 or 3 days for shipping, as fast, because that's the fastest shipping will go right now. So it's just been one of those days. It's dark out already. I'm never out this late, which I'd like to be because I have the underglow on the UPS truck. But what are you gonna do? Could have been a lot more efficient and successful day, but it is what it is. So you live and you learn. I learned to triple check spark plugs when I put them in, and I don't know what I could have done. I would have never noticed, because I never saw the van, the Nissan Juke, that belt shouldn't have been double ribbed. I would have never known. But I guess we can double check part numbers and make sure there's not an extra letter or number in there. Right now I just can't really relax, so I'm gonna get out and finish up this trailer I'm making out of my old truck. That used to be my old work truck. I rebuilt the motor and sold it, and I'm turning that into a trailer. So I'm gonna make some cuts on that and throw down some welds and just kind of relax, and then call it a day. So that it's turning into quite the day. I was gonna make 4 or 5 different videos, but after that second one and everything started going crazy, I just kind of forgot about it. So you'll get some footage. It'll be in here. If you're still watching this point, thanks. Consider subscribing. If you're still watching, I can only imagine that you find it somewhat interesting, and I please ask you to subscribe so we can grow the channel. But hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're doing well. Leave a comment down below if you want to, and we'll see you on the next episode.